Today we're here with Frank Warren, who's the founder of PostSecret.com and the author now of 5 books. Welcome to MommyCast.
It's wonderful to be here. Thanks for having me.
PostSecret.com is such a unique website, and putting it into words is kind of hard.
How do you describe it?
How do you describe it?
I describe PostSecret as a collection of secrets that people share with me, written on one side of a postcard and mailed in from all over the world. And in 5 years, I've received over 500,000 of these postcards, literally a ton of people's secrets that I share with people in books, on the web, and also I do a lot of traveling and speaking about the secrets and the stories behind the secrets.
How did you get the idea to have people mail you postcards?
Well, I think looking back on why I started the project, there might have been things in my own life that I was struggling with. And this whole project could have been an elaborate way for me to reconcile with secrets I was keeping from myself from my childhood. And I find it's a common experience that people can page through a PostSecret book and be reminded from a stranger of something they have struggled with and kept a secret.
And that it actually is a secret, like you recognize it in yourself.
Well, I think one of the key points is there are 2 kinds of secrets: the secrets that we keep from others and those we hide from ourselves. And sometimes, too, we might not think of that painful experience that occurred to us in high school or elementary school as a secret, but in some ways, as we're keeping it, it's keeping us.
That's really
And, you know, and I'm thinking about what the motivation is for people to actually send this to you. I mean, what
How
is
do you
your
get people
best
to
guess
do it?
there?
Well, I think sometimes people just want to get something off their chest. Like I got this one postcard made out of a photograph of a high school, and the secret written on the photograph said, "To the class of 1975, I still hate you all." So there can be that
Are they getting
motivation.
ready for a reunion of some sort?
Maybe, or not
Right.
going to one. But other times I get postcards with artwork on the card that's been so painstakingly created, you know, or secrets expressed with words so carefully chosen and arranged they read like poetry.
Yeah.
And for those people, I think there's a deeper motive. I think some people share a secret with me in order to search for grace, or to offer forgiveness to a friend who's no longer in their life, or maybe to transform. Because I think the very act of sharing a secret, whether it's with me on a postcard or whispering it in your best friend's ear, that very act gives you the potential to change who you are.
Even if it's anonymous.
Sure.
I mean, just getting it out.
Just putting it out there, I think, yeah.
There's something that can be cathartic about finding the words to take ownership of your secret, expressing it on a postcard, and then just physically letting that go to someone who's not going to judge you. And then maybe later on, seeing that reflected back in a book or on the website. You know, you feel comfortable enough after that to talk to your parent about it, or your spouse, or a priest, or a psychiatrist. Sometimes I think putting it on that postcard is the first step in a much longer journey to reconcile maybe with a part of your past that's been haunting you.
Well, okay, so it's anonymous, but when you get have you had some follow-up from some of these people to find that what transformation has happened as a result?
For sure. I've been contacted before by the FBI because of secrets.
Really?
But the one email I'm thinking about, when you asked that question, it came from a mother. And the mother had attended a PostSecret event where I talk about secrets, and sometimes audience members will stand up and share their secrets. And she said she'd gone to the event, she'd felt really moved, and the next day at breakfast, she'd explained it to her children, to her husband at the table. Then her husband left to work, and a couple hours later, one of her daughters came to her crying and said, "Mom, I've got a secret." And she told her mother a secret that eventually led to the family breaking up. It was a tragic secret that had to do with the father. And because the mother had been talking about secrets and making it sound okay to share them, the child felt like talking about something that she kept private and had been probably eating up her and destroying their family at the same time.
It's really kind of a magnanimous step to actually admit that you might have these secrets, and then to, you know, talk about them or put them out there some way.
Well, one of the things I do at PostSecret events is talk about my personal experience with suicide. And I found that when I share my own stories, afterwards it really allows other people to step up and say, you know, I had an uncle, or I felt the same way, or I had this experience. Sometimes in our society there are these taboo subjects, and until somebody broaches it first, the unspoken rule is to keep it quiet or keep it secret.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because you do a lot of work with teen suicide, but you were actually doing that before this even started, correct?
Yeah, when I started PostSecret 5 years ago, I was working as a volunteer not too far from here, answering the phones, talking to people who were emotionally struggling with hurting themselves. And so because of that work I was doing, I knew the good work that was happening there. And when PostSecret became so popular, I made a decision not to put advertisements on the website, but instead to raise funds and raise awareness of 1-800-SUICIDE, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline.
Right, so your proceeds actually are turned over to...
Well, in the last 5 years, the PostSecret community has helped raise over $500,000 for Hopeline. And right now we're working on a new technology called I'm Alive, which is the first ever peer-to-peer text messaging network of suicide prevention. So we're taking what's working so great about the hotline and suicide prevention and taking it kind of to 2.0, to the younger generation who might feel more comfortable emailing or text messaging and sharing their concerns and connecting them with help and hope that way online.
Yeah. It doesn't just surround suicide, and that's kind of where you see it in your book. You know, you see people reacting to all sorts of situations, and I just think it's fascinating to read these kind of inner workings of people's minds.
Yeah, I think it really does give you not just an insight into that stranger you might see sitting alone in the movie theater or a person you pass by on the sidewalk, but it connects you to the stories behind them.
What's the most common type of secret that you receive postcards?
Well, the most common secret that's mailed to me is I pee in the shower.
Who doesn't? No.
But beyond that, I would say the most common kind of secret I get is written all different ways. But at the core is this deep message of searching or longing for that one person who they can tell all their secrets to, for that spouse or for that psychiatrist or priest or son or parent, whoever it might be. But I think in some ways all of us are kind of on that journey too, trying to find that one person we could be our full selves with or reach a different level of intimacy with.
Yeah.
You know, this book has been on the New York Times bestseller list. I mean, I think it's really, it's poignant, it's now, it's what's happening, it's you know, telling
it's
it
beautiful,
like it is.
It's artistic.
It is beautiful.
And,
it really is very, and I just commend you for starting this, thinking of it, starting it, and really rolling with it, because I
did you think 5 years ago you would be here though? I mean, this is amazing.
This project turned my life upside down in so many of ways, but I'm really happy it happened.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us today.
It's been great to be here and meeting you both.
Thank you. If you'd like to check out PostSecret, go to postsecret.com, and we'll have links on mommycast.com to all of his books.
And also, we want to hear your secrets too, so go to Mommycast Facebook page and share yours. The only secret I have right now is that I haven't.
Okay,
it's hard to say. I haven't cleaned my bathroom in a month.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Well, then you need to write that on a postcard and you need to mail it in.
Well, we're at a standoff. My husband doesn't know yet.
Okay.
We're going to see who cleans it first.
So you can feel a sense of cleanliness internally by sharing that secret, even if
although
your
I'm
bathroom
showering
is
in
still a little
filth.
dirty.
Right. Right.
That's not running, is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can cut out the